Superman and Lois. This is going to be a little bit of a strange review because I'm going to be reviewing this one on my own. So,
sorry again.
Hands, hold on to your hats. Hands up. This is going to be very interesting. So this episode was literally called "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon," and that's if that feels weird to you because Lois is a grown woman and Superman is not a girl, and it makes you wonder why the title of the episode is like that.
Because it's about Sarah.
Because it's about Sarah. What I've finally come to the conclusion, they have descended into melodrama. I do not care what the Cushings are doing. I would care what Lana Lang is doing if it was more involved in the actual Superman storyline, but it's not. I would care more about what Kyle Cushing is doing if it was more connected to the Superman storyline, but it's not.
This always happens to Superman.
Yes.
Superman always gets like lovey-dovey, whatever, too emotional because he's a flawed character that's too good. You only have to hit him in the fifis.
That's not even the problem here. The problem here is that they can, I think part of it's budget. They can't afford to do a lot of CGI, and they haven't skimped, meaning that when they do it, it's fairly well. So they can only afford to do so much per episode. And it's an ensemble cast. Unfortunately, it's not called Smallville, where then you think the show is about all the characters in Smallville. It's called Superman and Lois. So the show should theoretically revolve heavily around Superman and Lois and their family. But that's not what's happening here. If anything, Lois is more the main character again, and Superman is kind of taking a back seat. There's some stuff I liked about it. There was a scene at the beginning where Lois makes banana nut muffins for John Henry Irons and Natalie, who you don't see in this episode. But that is probably my biggest downfall, is we didn't get to see anything of John Henry Irons, anything of Natalie, who are easily two of my favorite characters in the show. The problem is the show is starting to fall heavily into melodrama. So we have Sarah. She's about to go have her quinceañera. How do you pronounce that? Did I say that?
Quinceañera.
Yeah, so they're doing that. I don't know why that is so relevant in a Superman and Lois TV show. I get making Lana and Kyle more relevant characters, or even having Sarah be involved more with Jordan, because Jordan orbits Clark and Lois, but instead this storyline is heavily divorced from that. And of course we get the typical quote about how Sarah is proud of who she is no matter what, and how she can't believe her family had to change their name from Cortez to Cushing just to get a job. So remember, you have to sneak in the jab that America is awfully and irredeemably racist in 2022.
God, shut up.
So they got that in there, which when I see that stuff, like season 1 was so good. And season 2, like whenever they include that stuff, it's just like, I'm getting sick of it. A couple of them here and there, like they did stuff like that in Peacemaker very well. This show does not so have the chops to pull off stuff like that.
It was written by CW. It's on CW.
I would like to see the character of Tag become big, the guy who played like the proto Superman.
Yeah,
he could do better. I'd like to see more of him. I would also like to see more of Lieutenant Mitch Anderson, though they call him both Lieutenant Anderson and General Anderson, so I don't know if he's Lieutenant General.
Writers are not consistent.
Yes, they're not. The show, I literally wrote down the line where it officially falls into melodrama, where Lana and Sarah are like practicing their dance for the event, and Sarah like trips on her high heels, and like Lana catches her and she says, "If you fall, I'll always be there to catch you." And I literally almost turned it off. That line could work in a serious situation where something dangerous is happening, maybe, and it's the aftermath and you're going through something traumatic, and it's something heavy you say because you're in an emotional moment. This is just them dancing, practicing dancing for the daughter's quinceañera. It was literally the moment it fell into melodrama. And all this time I'm thinking, I literally wrote, where the hell is Superman? Where the hell is he? He's on the screen for like maybe a couple of minutes. He does have a really good fight with Bizarro Superman, and they do reveal that Bizarro Superman isn't going to be the main villain. It's going to be Ali Allstat, the one who was the cult leader. That took over her sister.
That's dumb.
And that character, Ali Alston, is not based, as far as I know, on a comic book character. There's an Andrea Alston that plays a version of a character called Parasite. So that's where they're going with that. I do like that they're making the woman the villain, though. So not all women are angels. That's good. But of course, we do end up finding out that Kyle Cushing, because remember, this is not Superman and Lois. This is the Cushing family drama episode. So my hope is that if they're going to keep doing this, at least maybe they dial it back next episode. And then they go back to other characters rather than focusing on them entirely. But we find out that Kyle had an affair because men are evil. And this is where it gets like they're turning. And remember, I love Emmanuel Shrieky as Lana Lang Cushing, but my God, like they're turning her into like the soulful saint. She can't do anything wrong. She just wants to take care of her family. And the husband is who's finally getting his life back on track because he's an alcoholic and he's in recovery. Now he screwed everything up because he had an affair before when the husband and wife weren't doing so well. And it really is falling into all the identity politics, modern day 2017 tropes of men are bad, America's evil, like all these things that can be done, but you need writers that can do them very, very well. And these writers ain't it. I'm sorry to say, but what happens here basically is also the least offensive storyline is Chrissy, the lady who works with Lois at the paper at the Smallville Gazette or something. She's like, she doesn't trust Lois because Lois is kind of like, because she's married to Superman, she kind of has to keep a lot of stuff on like a need-to-know basis and tends to hold stuff back from telling her, partially for the lady's own good, because knowing who Superman is not really good for your long-term health, because you're gonna end up, you can't beat up Superman, so you gotta kidnap people he knows. So that their storyline with I like Lois a lot in this show. Like I do. She's of all the melodrama and over-the-topness, her stuff is the least offensive to me, but there's just barely any there's barely any Clark Kent. We get stuff with General Lane. I like that with the boys. More super meth, more stuff involving the super meth, messing with Jonathan's head. So it's all over the place. Oh, I've noticed anytime that there's a scene that involves kids at parties now, I noticed this on Dexter too, all the music, it's always TikTok music. It's always something that was like
it Drake's.
I didn't write it down, but it was like maybe if you go back and watch it tonight, just for like, it's really funny. It's like it's like one of those songs that was like a TikTok trend song like 2 years ago.
They're
like,
all doing dabs.
I heard "Astronaut in the Ocean" on Dexter, and I'm like, nobody actually listens to that song.
I like it.
No,
my bad.
I'd be laughing if it's Buttercup.
It'd be cool if like Superman's like dabbing. Like,
so the Superman versus Bizarro Superman fight was really good. Also, there was a line I wrote down because I didn't understand what he meant by it, where he says, "My mom is gonna," like after he captures Bizarro Superman, he says, "My mom's gonna see what my mom is in the Fortress of Solitude, is gonna see what she can do." I'm like, didn't your mom die in the first episode of the show? And then I remembered they meant like the projection of his mom from Krypton. And that's her first appearance in a while. But I literally wrote down, also, on top of men always being bad and America being irredeemably racist, constant, and I mean constant validation for the female characters. Lana is like, Kyle is constantly telling Lana how great of a mom she is, how many barriers she's breaking down, and what they're doing is they're doing the same thing to Sarah, where she's great and she's perfect the way she is. It was the same. There was the weird stuff where she cheats on her boyfriend and somehow she's the one being constantly given validation that what she did wasn't bad. So
she's queer and it's here, and it's okay to cheat on your boyfriend.
It's okay to cheat on your boyfriend as long as it's with yes, that exactly. So the constant validation was something that I never noticed until like years later. You'll notice like it's a thing where I was watching an old episode of NCIS recently, and there's a thing where a character got like offered a promotion and he ends up not taking it. And then everyone, like, what happens whenever they do something like this? He turns it down, and then everyone in that episode is ragging on him. So you can tell he's thinking, like, why didn't I just take this promotion? Everyone's treating me like crap. But he never brings up that he was offered the promotion, because then he's speaking on it, and he's like, he doesn't need the validation. He knows that he did a good job, and now he's like, everyone's treating me like crap. But the point is that you don't need other people to tell you that you're doing a good job. Right? Maybe this is just a weird nitpick on my part.
No, it's
a weird thing. I hate the constant need for validation in these characters, and that's not unique to just them. But in this show, those are the two. It's Sarah and her mom are constantly being validated. It doesn't even really happen to Lois as much as, I mean, Superman kind of does it for Lois, but that's her husband, so it makes a little bit.
It is dumb. I hate it when women are like, I deserve this reward because I am a mom and I'm a working mom too. Like, I hate it when women do that. I hate it. I get it. You work a job and you like take care of kids. Yes, kids are a full-time job, but who fucking cares on a TV show? Give me fucking Superman. Sorry, I'm cussing.
Yes, keep there's a speaking of what you mentioned with Patrick Swayze earlier, there's a dance scene earlier, and they mentioned spaghetti arms, and they reference Dirty Dancing.
Right.
That was funny. So I want to see Tag become a bigger character. The guy who plays.
He's the only Asian character,
but he's great. Like,
I know.
He does these. He's got this great Liu Kang from the original Mortal Kombat hair. Like, that's in right now. Like, Tom Holland has that hair right now.
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
K-pop.
It's like long but short at the same time. It's like really weird. I can't even describe it. It's like a mane, but not a mane.
Because of K-pop, they're bringing it back, and TikTok.
So more Tag, more Jeremy Irons, more John Henry Irons, more even Natalie was less annoying in the last episode.
They're gonna make her annoying somehow.
She'll end up being her and Sarah will probably end up getting together.
Will they have like Superman's like son?
It's got both of them. Jonathan, their storyline is when I say melodrama, they're the teen PSA right now. So Jordan has powers and Jonathan does not. And Jonathan
it's a simp.
Jordan has very bad social anxiety, and he's dating the Sarah girl, and the Sarah girl is the alpha in the relationship and holds all the power, and treats him like, he's really.
Dane, like, in the beginning episodes before this one, legit, like, she was talking to her dad because, like, she felt overwhelmed because Jordan was, like, so happy to see her. And then she was talking to her dad, who's Kyle Cushing, and he's like, just remember, you're the alpha in the relationship. He's not. You're the dominant one.
The best.
And I'm like, shut up!
The best thing I can say about the
What
mom...
a healthy thing to teach someone.
The best thing I can say about the mom storyline is we did have the discussion the other day where I talked about, I said, they're not telling women's stories, they're telling men's stories with women as the characters. At least, even if I don't think they're telling it well, they're telling the story of Lana Lang as a mom, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're doing a great job of it, if that makes sense.
Is it because it's written by 30-year-old plus women who are not married and don't have kids and don't know how to feel about like having a family? I'm sorry, the CW sucks. Who's writing this? Because
but season 1 was so good.
But it was written by HBO writers.
No, okay. Production is not the same thing. A lot of the same teams came back for this. And what happens with this stuff is, like, season 1, you tell the story that this show was conceived to tell. When you pitch a show, you pitch the show usually for a specific story you want to tell, right? So they tell that story in season 1, and then season 2 comes around, and they're like, what do we tell? What do we do? So they're pawning this off on the side characters who are just not that interesting, and the storytelling is not good enough to make it work.
I don't care about humans. I just care about Superman.
Yeah, like I said, too many subplots. Not enough Superman. It needs more of Superman beating up Bizarro Superman. If they're going to do the mirror universe, they have to do it very well. If they're going to do Ali Alston as the bad guy, if they're going to do Parasite, like I said, it's not a character that I'm familiar with. I don't know why they would change the name like that. There could be deeper comic book lore that I'm not familiar with there. But if they're going to do that, we need to see Superman in the suit more, and we need to see more stuff of him actually doing his job as Superman. So that was kind of an all over the place aside of, but just like the things that annoyed me about it. But with an episode title like "Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon,"
that's a song title.
I assumed that it was going that way.
Girl, you'll be a woman.
So we'll see.
It's so dumb.
The best
I don't
thing-
care about her quince.
Also, I want to give props to whoever the actor was that played the lawyer John Pugh. I literally wrote John Pugh, attorney dickhead at law. He was great. He just evil bad guy lawyer. He was only in it for like 30 seconds, and I just wrote ha 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 ha. Guy was awesome.
What? We should just watch all monster movies. Monster movies have no political justice. They just fight.
Yet.
Shut up. I don't want to hear this.
Black Christmas. Monster. I think horror movies like Black Christmas begs to differ.
No,
The
I was
modern-day
talking
Black
about monster movies.
So if they're gonna, I'm okay with the story of Chrissy and Lois. They do all right because it's tied, and probably because it's tied directly into Superman. Chrissy doesn't trust Lois. Lois is investigating Allie. Allie is connected to the cult that Superman is battling in fighting with Bizarro, who we find out now Bizarro is trying to get to Allie. So you thought Bizarro Superman was going to be the big bad. It turns out Allie is. So I'm all over the place, but the point is, close up some of these subplots. Nobody cares that Kyle Cushing had an affair. Negative people care. Like, take me as if somebody was cared, and then delete me 5 times more. That's how many people care about that storyline.
You know what?
Nobody cares.
Don't care about. I don't care about Sarah turning 15.
Nobody cares about Sarah turning 15.
I legit thought she was 16, but apparently she aged down. I don't know how that happens.
I said, like, bring it back to the actual superhero storylines, and we can get back on track.
That's what you said. If they don't have the budget for like the
scenes,
they're just gonna be like.
But even just connect the characters better. Like, I don't care about the Cushings on their own.
Can we talk about, like, if they rewrote this episode, could we talk more about Jordan and like how he's coping with his superpowers, and then like Jonathan, like how he's taking the super meth, because like the super
well, and
it is
they do talk about it in this episode, and it's a storyline I glazed over because I just I'm not a huge fan.
Basically, the super meth mix makes him like, it makes like kids like extra stronger and like their senses like heightened.
He's got like Superman-ish. it's like Superman. It's like Superman in an inhaler. I also want to know where the industrious young woman who's selling him these drugs got like empty inhalers to put this stuff.
Maybe she found it in the garbage can.
Perhaps so. Or
it's her own personal ones.
And in more of Lieutenant Mitch Anderson, who I didn't like at first, but he's just so good as this kind of slimy general who he always talks like this. And he doesn't make eye contact with Superman, and he always looks vaguely disappointed in him. I love it.
No.
I love it. And more Dylan Walsh. So more Tag, more John Henry Irons. Close up some of these storylines involving the Cushings, and let's move on.
And also bring more Bizarro Superman.
Yes.
I really wanted that. Like, I was so excited to see it. I was like, that looks like Bizarro.
Yep. It's a scary villain always because he's nuts.
Yep.
He is nuts, and I want more. I just want aliens and monsters to fight each other. I don't care about you pleb humans. Like, I don't care about you turning old.
Turning old.
I don't give a damn, and I don't care if you're a mom.
I almost would have been okay with the Cushing storyline if they didn't have to go the predictable route of the dad is of course a piece of crap who had an affair. Right.
Also, what happened to the youngest daughter? Like, she disappeared.
She comes and goes as the story. Really, she's like, the actress is really young, so I'm guessing they can't have her on set very much, and the show's already bloated as far as like cast list. So like, she was there for like one scene, and then magically disappeared.
They're like, Who cares? We have one daughter.
Yep.
Her name is Sarah. Who's the other daughter? We don't know.
Yes. So we will see where it goes. Just I really think like if I was to offer a clean like lowest common denominator solution, would be to close up the Cushing storyline, and if you're going to keep and reintegrate the characters more directly connected to the Superman storyline.
Watch them do the exact opposite.
Likely what's going to happen.
The CW always does that. Like, if they have a good premise, they take it to a whole 180, and it's like a bad premise. And like the show keeps on going because
just
people
too bloated.
Because people, like, some people don't have good taste and they come to these stupid storylines. And I feel like it's writers who don't have kids and don't experience the family life. They're single and they're lonely and they're just writing terrible storylines. And I hate it. I hate it.
I do think that these are things that can be fixed easily enough. It's just it would take a lot of like foresight and actual work. So we will see where it goes.
I hate it.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.